Hello again, my name's John. I'm a retired cook from the northeast of England in the UK, and welcome to another one of my pie videos. This time I'll be making a stunning large beef pie. What makes this one special? It's all about the meat. No onions, veggies, cheese or extras. Just pure lean diced beef, slowly simmered in a rich flavourful gravy, and encased in the perfect short crust pastry. A truly spectacular beef pie which I'm pretty sure you'll all enjoy. You can see the ingredients list and full written method for this recipe on the recipe page on the channel's website, and the link to that page and lots more is in the description box under the video. Just find and click on the word more, and that'll give you access to all the relative links for this video, including our website store products. Right, let's get on with this outstanding beef pie recipe. Okay, I'll start by making the beef filling. Get a large frying pan on a high heat and add the oil. For this pie recipe I'll be using lean diced stewing beef. Once hot, start to fry the meat, but do this in 2 or 3 batches. Don't overcrowd the pan or it'll just end up boiling. Once each batch is done, add it to a medium-sized saucepan. And a very quick mention to the channel's Patreon, PayPal and Super Thanks supporters. I'll do the name splash and shout out a little later in the video. Right, the next ingredient is optional, and it's a glass of red wine. Now, even though I'm a teetotaler, I make and age my own wines. Sometimes from fresh fruit and sometimes from wine kits. If that's something you'd be interested in me videoing, please let me know in the comments. Okay, deglaze the pan with the wine. Once bubbling, add it to the saucepan. There's still a lot of flavour in that pan, so make sure you get it all out. Next to go in is the beef stock. If you don't have any natural beef stock, it's perfectly fine to use a couple of beef stock cubes instead. Time to add the tomato puree or paste. Now stir that in until it melts into the stock. Have a taste to see if it needs seasoning. If you have used stock cubes, be careful how much salt you add. And there's always room for a bit black pepper though. Once it starts to boil, transfer it to your smallest ring on the lowest heat. Now get the lid on and let that simmer for at least 1 hour. Okay, time's up. Now check that your meat is tender. And mine certainly is. If yours isn't, just give it a little longer. Now there's lots of ways you can thicken the filling. My favourite is a couple of heaped teaspoons of corn flour, you may know that as corn starch, mixed with a little cold water. Add a little at a time. Your gravy should start to thicken immediately. And that's it, your delicious beef pie filling is done. Okay, now let that completely cool. And a great way of cooling it quickly is to float the pan in a sink of cold water. After 30 to 45 minutes, it'll be cool enough to make up your pie. On to making the pastry. By far the best way to make short crust pastry is to use a food processor. It's very quick and easy, but more importantly, it keeps all the ingredients cold, which is essential when making short crust pastry. If you don't have a processor, you can mix the ingredients by hand, but do this as quickly as possible. First, add the flour. Next to go in is the fats. In this case I'm using butter and lard. If you don't use or like lard, as it is a pork product, you can use a solid vegetable fat instead. Now you can add the salt. Okay, pulse the machine for about 40 seconds. And if you are making this by hand, rub the ingredients together with your fingers. Keep going until you have a fine breadcrumb or sandy consistency. Like I said, about 40-45 seconds in the machine, and this will take a little longer if you're making it by hand. Now set the machine away and slowly trickle in the cold water. And if you are doing it by hand, just cut it together with a dinner knife. Once the pastry comes together and starts rolling around the bowl, it's done. Now very carefully get it out of the machine and watch your fingers on those blades. You should now have approximately 560 grams, that's 20 ounces of pastry. So divide it into two pieces. 310 grams or 11 ounces for the base of the pie and 250 grams or 9 ounces for the lid of the pie. Now get them wrapped in cling film, and I use biodegradable, and into the fridge for at least 30 minutes before using them. Right, on to rolling out the pastry. And this is the pie tin I'll be using in this recipe. We've managed to get hold of a limited number of these fantastic loose-based fluted pie tins, so if you want one, get your order in quick. And I've greased the tin with a little lard. For rolling the pastry out, I'll be using our very own adjustable stainless steel rolling pin, and these are available on the website. These fantastic rolling pins with different size spaces take all of the guesswork out of rolling your pastry out evenly and to the exact thickness that you require. And for this recipe, I'll be using the 3mm or 1/8 pastry spacer. If your pastry has been chilling for more than 30 minutes, take it out of the fridge 15 minutes before attempting to roll it. Start by dusting the bench with flour. Get the larger of the two pastry discs onto the floured bench and dust it with flour too. Now roll the pastry out into a large circle as shown. Remember, the pastry has to be bigger than the tin that you're using. Roll it backwards and forwards in straight lines and turn the pastry 90 degrees at a time. This should keep it reasonably round. If you have got one of these pins, keep rolling until the guides hit the bench. Then you should have the perfect size and the perfect thickness for this recipe. Use your tin as a guide for the size that you need. And there you go, perfect. You simply can't go wrong with these rolling pins. Once your pastry is big enough, dust it and roll it onto the pin. Now carefully line it up and unroll it onto the tin. Now gently manipulate the pastry into the tin. Use a spare piece of pastry to push it right down into the corners where the sides meet the base. Once the pastry's in and you're happy with it, you can set it aside while you roll out the top pastry for the pie. Keep dusting the bench and the pastry as you go. Once you're happy with the size, roll it onto the pin and set it aside for now. Get your pastry base and using a fork, prick a few holes in it. This is called docking the pastry. Docking prevents the pastry from bulging up when it's baking. Time to make up the egg wash. Crack a small egg into a container. Now add a dash of milk. Give it a good whisk until it's loose and nice and runny. And if you don't like or use eggs, you can wash your pastry with milk instead. Before going any further, preheat your oven to 160 Celsius, that's 320 Fahrenheit or gas mark 3. If you want to add some decorations to the top of the pie, roll out a small piece of pastry and cut it like so. Now get it into the freezer for 5 minutes before cutting the shapes out. Time to put this delicious pie together. Get your now cooled filling into the pastry base and carefully spread it out. And if you wouldn't mind guys, if you found the video useful and enjoyable, can you give the video a like by hitting the thumbs up? It really helps the channel tremendously. Okay, get your egg wash and brush it all around the lip of the pastry. Grab your pastry lid that's still on the rolling pin. Carefully line it up and unroll it over the base. Gently press down the edges with the palm of your hands. Now using your forefingers and thumbs, crimp all the way around the edge of the pie as shown. Once that's done, carefully trim the excess pastry off like so. And remember, this has a loose bottom, so don't try and pick it up to trim the edge. Once you have it trimmed, crimp around the pie edges again to tidy it all up. OK, if you are decorating the top of your pie, get your little pastry sheet out of the freezer and cut out your shapes. I'm just using 8 of these elongated triangles. And your bench scraper is the ideal tool for this job. And now brush egg wash all over the lid of the pie. And once again, if you don't use eggs, you can brush with milk. You won't get the shine, but you will get the colour. Place your little shapes evenly around the pie. Now these actually have a few practical advantages too. 1, it strengthens the pastry. 2, it helps portion the pie into even slices. And 3, it looks very professional. Cut 2 or 3 vent holes in the middle of the pie. And if there's any trapped air, you'll see it deflate at this point. Now finish off the egg washing. And that's it, all finished and ready to bake. Now get it into the preheated oven. If you have an oven with top and bottom elements, use the bottom one. If you don't, just bake it in the middle of the oven. Once it's in, set your timer for 50 minutes. And while that gorgeous beef pie is baking, I hope you don't mind if I give my 4 recipe books a quick shout out. The books have lots of our favourite recipes from our work kitchens in them. And also book 4 in this series is totally dedicated to bread recipes. Right, time's up on this gorgeous beef pie. And it's looking fantastic, but best of all is the aroma. It's absolutely mouth-watering. It's way too hot to do anything with at the moment. So get it on a wire rack and let it relax for 10 minutes before attempting to get it out of the tin. Can't wait to show you this one. See you in a jiffy, guys. OK, it's been 10 minutes since it came out of the oven. It's still pretty hot, but cool enough to get out of the tin. And there you go, no stickage at all. Time to cut a slice off this beautiful pie. And doesn't that look absolutely amazing? It'd look even better if I could stop shaking. OK, I'll get it onto a nice serving plate for the thumbnail shot. Right, time to give it a try. That short crust pastry is so light and crisp. And here we go. And that is absolutely delicious. Just pure tender pieces of beef, and that rich gravy is nothing but outstanding. This is one of the best and tastiest pies you'll ever make. Obviously, a huge thumbs up for this one, my friends. And as mentioned earlier in the video, here is the latest list of my Patreon, PayPal and Super Thank You button supporters. And they are Peter Walker, Tom of the North, Gina McDowell 5919, Darrell Elder 1352, Jens K 3250, Liz Allen 4024, Kev Frommel. Finally, my name is Gail, and there's also one who wishes to remain anonymous. Thanks very much, guys. I really do appreciate all that you do in supporting the channel. Well, thank you again for watching. Please like, share, comment and subscribe by hitting the circle above. If you do subscribe, activate the bell icon next to the subscribe button on my channel page. And by doing that, you'll be automatically notified every time I upload a new video. And in the meantime, here's a few of my other videos and playlists that you may want to watch. So, until the next time, be safe in your kitchen and bye for now.